Hey y'all, welcome to Arkansas Yarncast. I'm Lorri.
I am Hanna.
And I'm Jessica.
And we are coming to you from the home of Arkansas Yarn Company in Malvern, Arkansas. And it has been a very long minute since we have podcasted, and we're sorry.
I think it may have been 8 months.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd say it's been an hour.
like we've lost 50 pounds or so.
It's been a while.
It has been a long time. So we're so sorry. We're so excited to be back. And we probably have a lot of stuff to talk about.
But we're going to try to condense it down just a little bit.
Yeah, because we'll come back.
We don't need a 3-hour episode.
No.
3-hour tour.
I don't think
ends badly.
It sure does.
And I don't think y'all want a 3-hour tour. We also have done some upgrading. So we all have microphones so that our sound quality will probably be better. And if it's not, I'm sure some people will let us know.
But also, let us know if you love it so much more.
Yes, we prefer the positive over the negative. So,
some things have happened since we last gathered. My mom has been out of the country twice.
Yep.
Jessa has been once.
I have.
With me.
I've been 0.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
But she did an excellent job watching the store for us.
Lindsey and I had fun.
Yes. Yes, y'all had too much fun.
The shop has been ridiculously busy.
We like that.
We do like that. But it also means that we get tired very quickly.
Yes. We have been doing so much.
There's part of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all, we turned 6 years old in our brick and mortar store.
In May.
In May. And
I still haven't taken down the chalkboard.
It's okay because we want to continue celebrating that we've been here for 6 years. 6 years. And we were open 10 months when COVID hit. So I feel blessed and fortunate to have survived that and still have 6 years in. So yeah, it's awesome. It's because we have such a great team and
a great community.
I was just about to say, and we owe everything to the community for supporting us because we could never have done it without you. So it's super exciting. Anything else?
That makes me want to say this brought to you from viewers like you.
Oh yeah. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? Like that. Mm-hmm.
Brought to you by viewers like you or something like that.
What is that, PBS?
PBS.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, yes, Jessica and I took a little trip to Ireland. It was a knitting tour
In April.
And we had the best time.
And it was hosted by the knitwear designer Alexandra Davidoff.
Yes, who is one of my best friends. Love her, love her. And as you know, we have done, we've worked on some collaborations together. The Wool and Coffee collection was her brainchild, so that's super exciting. And we had a really great time. We got to go see all kinds of places and animals and countryside.
It was a dragons and castles themed tour because Alexandra is known for her dragon scale knitwear designs.
Yes.
And so we got to stay in 2
We did
castles.
stay. I felt right at home.
One of the castles had working like dog greeter things. They were Irish wolfhounds.
Oh.
I got jealous about that part.
Yeah, it had 2 Irish wolfhounds. One was an older Irish wolfhound,
Yes.
and then one was 3 months old.
The old one
Still looked huge.
The
was
the 3-month-old was kind of scared of people. The other one was like, pet me.
Love that.
I like it too. When they lean into you, it's like the very best because it means they love you. It's so funny too because our tour guide, her name was Anne Marie, and she is like, the bus time. We have 5 minutes before everybody has to be on the bus. And I mean, she was like diligent about it too, except when there was a dog. And then she's like, bus? What bus? There's a dog. So I gave her a really hard time. It's like, Anne Marie is like, bus. Oh, dog? we don't have to be on the bus anytime soon. We can love this
Nowhere
dog.
to go.
Yes, we'll love this dog for the next hour, and James will be fine with it. Who cares that we have a schedule? She was
One
funny.
of my favorite shops in Wichita, back when I lived in Kansas, had an Irish Wolfhound. And every time I would enter into that shop, the Irish Wolfhound would be like, "Ooh, I know this one." And she'd come find me and lean, and I'd see her coming and be like, "Oh, this is a love bug." And so I'd have to brace.
Yes.
Because those suckers are huge.
Yes. I mean, you feel like, maybe I don't want to lock my knees and pass out, but I probably need to lock my knees.
Take a stance.
Yes. They're so adorable.
They are.
We had a lot of fun. We enjoyed that very much. We made some new friends, which we're still friends with. We still have the group
Friends and
chat going.
memories.
Yes, it was great. I really enjoyed spending the time with Jessica. We spent a lot of time on a bus. I think I fell in love a little bit with James, our driver. He's so kind. We had a great time. And then we came home and we finished up our top secret project that we were working on. No, we did that
before we left.
Yeah. We have a top secret project that we had been working on,
Yeah.
and I'm going to share it with you in a little bit. And so we were all like really hustling to get that finished because it was a lot of work. But
And we've advertised it a little bit. I'm sure people can probably guess what you're talking about.
okay, so I'll just tell you. But I was going to say I don't have any yarn here, but I do.
You do.
So I don't know. I don't know if you follow Twice Sheared Sheep or not, but she does a mystery box 4 times a year, and she invited us to be a dyer for it, and we were over the moon about it. It's a lot of fun. We dyed 2,100 skeins of yarn for her subscription and for us to sell after the fact, and it was so much fun.
And she sent us one.
So this is our yarn. And I wish I had the inspiration picture that we dyed this to match. It's not quite the same as the picture that she sent us as what was in the box. But she gave us a teddy bear sitting on a blue and white check tablecloth eating a strawberry cupcake. So I dyed this. And then when I saw this little bear eating honey, I was like, oh no, but it's okay. I put honey in there. So there's some honey specks in here too. Anyway, it was a lot of fun. We dyed 2,100 skeins, and what I'm most proud of is we put it in 12 jumbo heavy boxes. And
Our poor FedEx guy.
I don't think I was here when he picked them up.
You would not have enjoyed watching him.
Anyway,
He could have used a dolly and did
he chose not to.
Uh-huh.
That's not our problem.
Nope.
That's
But he was great about it.
wow. I'm sure his mom is proud. Anywho, they were giant boxes of 12, and when you open them up and you looked across, they all looked the same. So I was very, very proud of that. Anna and I killed it on the dyeing. We dyed.
Hanna and I killed it on the dyeing.
So one of the things that happened is my mother passed away March 15th, and I spent 2 weeks in Oklahoma during that time frame, and Jessica and Anna dyed
Some of the
yarn, and they did a great job. But Anna and I had been dyeing it for quite a number of days. I'm fairly certain.
There were several days of
Yes.
dyeing to get to 2,100 skeins.
32 trays over a course of 17 dye days, which we didn't do all at once because we also had to rinse, snip.
Process.
Yeah, we figured out that we ran out of ties. So we had to pace ourselves a little bit. And also it was very physical.
There was a learning curve to
Yeah.
the
That amount.
to the process for that amount.
But the good news
All
is
at once.
we are ready to do that again. We can kill it. We got it down. We got it down.
I feel like we're happiest when we're busy.
We have been so busy too. I mean, I don't know if y'all know this or not. I'm fairly certain that you do. We have 4 of us in the store now all the time. And I can't even imagine not.
Yeah, we would not have been able to do it in the time frame we did it if
No,
it was just the
without a
3 of
fork.
us.
No, but I love how consistent everything was. But the box itself is very cool. It also came with an undyed skein of yarn. It came with a little bag, some little notions.
We'll have Lindsey put
Yeah, I
a
have
photo of all of the
I have
things.
a picture. There's like different progress keepers, a pom-pom maker. I think this is quite cool. It's a shawl pin, info cards. It's packaged up very beautiful. It's so in line with the things that we do here in the store that it was lovely. We have really enjoyed it, and hopefully she will invite us to do it again. I dropped all the things. So anyway, I feel like I've been like chatty. Do y'all have what's been going on with you?
Shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, shop.
Who
And,
has time for anything else?
Right?
and I got to go to Ireland.
Yeah.
So that's my
What
big
was-
excitement.
Okay, I know my favorite part of your trip to Ireland, but what was your favorite part about your trip to Ireland?
So I think
Time with your mom.
I think that my favorite portion was the first castle that we stayed in. It was the most castle-like
Yes.
of
it
the
was.
2 castles we stayed in.
They've
And
all been kind of refurbished, so they're hotels. They're obviously hotels.
so
but
they're
it did feel more.
castle-like.
It did.
It felt much more castle-like. It felt more
Also-
old world
Yes.
than the second one, which really was more of a tower of a castle, and then the rest was just a really nice hotel.
Like with the everything you would imagine, like a towel warmer that was so hot. It was so hot in our room because of that towel warmer.
We had
Oh,
to
wow.
crack the window
We did.
to the outside to let cool air in
But-
because it was so warm. So all of the hotels we stayed in had radiators for heat. And so it was a little bit of a learning curve to try to figure out how to turn it down, and if we turned it off, how to turn it back on, and all of that. But the towel warmer in the bathroom was also a radiator. So they had it on like full blast.
Yeah, it was.
And it was
I'm surprised it didn't burn towels because it was so hot.
Wow.
Yes.
So we did have to mess with that a little bit.
Also, the radiators were right underneath the windows, and
The
it's
curtains.
heavy
The first-
velvet drapes.
Yeah, the
and-
first hotel we were in, the first castle we were in, had these massive, heavy drapes.
That would make
Yes,
me
that
kind of nervous.
hung-
It
and
was a
then-
lot nervous.
And then they had a sheer
Yes.
curtain behind it
So we wanted to
that
close the
were
curtains.
stayed on, like they were on top of the radiator, and we were like,
Yeah.
how are they not burning?
Yes. So when we get in our room, we're like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And then we
Oh,
go
this is
and
so hot.
then we go to our dinner, and then we come back and we're thinking, "Okay, so we need to close these because
heavy
it's
drapes.
It's a traffic area. People are
It's a
walking
walking
in front of us.
area.
Yeah, so people are going back and forth to their rooms, and we only had this sheer thing, so we felt like we needed to close
the
that.
window.
But I was very apprehensive, and Jessica too. We were very nervous about closing those blinds over that hot radiator because it was cold. And so finally, what we did was we just picked all of the curtains up, and they had these great big, very, very deep window seals. We just shoved all of that right into the window seal. And
the next morning we were talking to somebody else about it that was on our trip, and they said, "Oh, well, that's what the hotel person told
Yes.
us to do, was
Yeah.
to just shove
Shove
the
it in
drapes
there,
up
yeah.
in the
Because
windowsill.
we were scared we were going to catch the drapes on fire because
Well,
it was hot.
But even closing the drapes over top of the radiator, it would have prevented the
It was
heat
counterproductive.
from coming into
Yes.
the room because the drapes were so thick and heavy.
Yeah.
So it was just it was a little
I
odd.
enjoyed
But the rooms were fantastic at that
Beautiful.
hotel. In fact, I'll have Lindsey put up a couple of photos
Yeah.
on the video so y'all can see what the rooms looked like. And the hotel itself, the exterior of the hotel was just very castle-like. It was a beautiful hotel.
I personally really enjoyed getting to meet the new people because, I love a relationship. And so that was probably my funnest part. I loved that I got to spend a week with Jessica. I had always told her that her and I would take a trip to Ireland together. And I really wanted to do that. It was a great opportunity to do it as a yarn-centric trip. But meeting the people that we met, we still have our WhatsApp group going, and it's just so much fun, and everybody was so charming, and we met great people.
We got to meet people from all over the country. There was one woman from Canada on the trip with us, and she actually doesn't live terribly far from where your parents
I think
live.
about an hour.
Yes.
So that was really interesting, and so we did get to meet some really nice people.
Yes.
It was a small-ish group. There were 19 of us total, and not all of us were crafters. Some people brought their family members along, and it was just a really fun trip.
Yes. And then we got back, and
We had to prep for the birthday party.
we had to prep for our birthday party.
Right away. Yeah.
Yep. And then
And then you left for Scotland.
And then I left for Scotland. And so I just got back from Scotland. And I will tell you that Scott and I went with our very best friends from college. And just to give you an idea of how old I am, they have been our best friends for 36 years. And Scott and I have been married for 37 years. And so
These were people you met in college?
We met them practically. My husband
Like your first year?
was an agricultural engineer. My husband was an agricultural engineer at Oklahoma State, and it's a very small department. And right off the bat, he met Greg.
It was.
It was.
At the time.
Yes, it was. And it was so small that my husband's advisors were his dad's professors. So that's how small that department is, and they knew him. And it was. So anyway, we met Greg and Jamie, and then we did everything together. We were eating dinner at one or the other's households. I had Jessica, and then they had Austin, and so we always said that we would betroth Jessica and Austin if they were not married by the time they were 30. I mean, yeah. So we went with Greg and Jamie and Brent and Tina, and so we had a great time. We also stayed in a castle. It was a lot of fun. We did. I sourced some Scottish wool for us.
Did you move around?
Yes.
As much as you did in Ireland?
I think we moved around a little less. We typically stayed in a place for 3 days, but ours was a rail trip. So we intentionally went by train to a lot of places. So it was amazing. The one thing I think I was most disappointed about is we really wanted to see some Scottish coos, which is a cow, and a Highland coo. And we saw them on a roadside tourist attraction. There were 3 of them, a blonde one, a red one, and a black one. And none of them looked at us. We saw their butts. That's all we could see. And you couldn't go around to get to the other side because that was the road. So it literally was a tourist attraction, see the cows. And
see the cow's rump.
Yeah. So that was disappointing, but the rest of the time was absolutely amazing. you know, it always makes my heart happy when we get to go somewhere and there's yarn and wool involved, and learning the history of it. Learning the history of Scotland was very interesting. One of the things that I thought was super cool is, you know, they had a lot of Scottish wars, and one of the things that I thought was super clever are these things called a cairn, Cairn, and it is a mound of rocks. And so basically what happened is when all the men showed up for battle, they put a rock on the pile. And when they were done for their time, they would come back and take their rock off the pile. And however many rocks were there were how many people died in the battle that day. And just sombering, and those, some of those piles are still there.
That's really interesting. So those are also used in other manners, I guess, depending on where you are. So I will say that I'm not going to have you tell the stories now, because Lindsey also needs to hear the story first, and I'll remind you hopefully tomorrow what you're supposed to tell me at any. We haven't heard everything, honestly.
It's been a lot to process, because
so I'm still waiting on some stories.
Lindsey's gonna hear when she edits this podcast.
So I will say, so in regards to like the Ireland trip, I had gone some years ago, but it was also yarn centric, but a completely different experience. So you guys were more
north,
and I was in the southern area. But so the one thing that if I ever went back to Ireland, which I think I would love to, it's gorgeous.
Yes.
And just everything was pleasant. But the one thing that I saw from the photos and stuff was that seaside, how the hill was like stacked. What was that called?
Oh, the Giant's Causeway.
Yes.
With the hexagonal stones,
which I had heard of before, but I don't think I had even seen pictures really. I had just heard of its existence. And so they brought back these earrings, which I'm not gonna show you, but they're from that, and they're just like, they're one of my happiest little pieces that you guys have brought to me. But that looked so amazing.
We know you like fun earrings.
It was really quite interesting, and I'll have Lindsey post pictures of what you're talking about, the stones
gorgeous.
and stuff, because we have
I
several
actually didn't go
photos.
down there. I stayed at the visitor center with Dory, but Jessica went, and the pictures that she took are so amazing.
They are.
The pictures that they had in the gift shop were also really cool.
It was a very interesting. They're a naturally occurring rock formation.
Was that a volcanic?
On the coast?
It's just crazy. It's like how
and they look so uniform.
Well, then they are. They're very uniform. And they're like piles of rock or columns of rock, and there's people walking all over them, and there's lots of signs that say you really shouldn't
don't do
walk
it.
on them because they can be slick. They're the literal coastline, so
and
you've got
not
the water.
Like all of the
and it's also
railing and stuff.
And it's also rainy and misty, which it was that day.
It was sunny that day. We had really nice weather that day.
So if you had that mist on top of
but
that,
the stones were very smooth. So when they're wet, they're slick. And the tide comes in and out, so you can kind of see in the photos where the tide will come up to. Because the rocks are darker. But it's just a very interesting, naturally occurring rock formation.
Ireland is
How
gorgeous.
Did that happen?
Well, and apparently Scotland has an exact same on the side of Scotland that faces that section of Ireland. And so there's a myth.
Dueling causeways.
There's a story that we were told going to the causeway that is a legend of why it's called the Giant's Causeway. Well, there was a giant in Scotland, and there was a giant in Ireland. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but the giant in Ireland was smaller than the giant in Scotland. And so when the giant in Scotland came over, the giant in Ireland pretended to be his son, his infant son. And so the giant from Scotland is thinking, if this is his son, I'd hate to see how big his dad is. And so he basically turned tail and went back to Scotland. And so the causeway was like his boot prints as he was running back to Scotland.
That's fun.
So I don't, and that's just a rough whatever I can remember of the story. So it would, I really should look it up and read you the actual like full story of the causeway. But that,
I love a good legend.
Yeah.
I love a good tale.
It was fun. The other thing that we did that I really, really enjoyed was when we went to the cider. I have never seen apple trees. So they have this apple tree where it looks like this. The tree looks like this.
Like a bowl?
Kind of. And there's branches out like this. And then inside, there's another tree that they have grafted. And so they have dual harvests.
another apple tree.
But it's growing in the same place. And this one harvests in the fall, and this one harvests in the summer.
But the outer tree will not pollinate itself. And so they have to have the other apple to pollinate the first variety of apple.
Yes.
Was this from that building that was like an ultra modernized old building? Or was that a different place?
It was more towards Belfast. It was more in the Northern Ireland, and it was one of
Northern
It
Ireland.
was one of the last things that we did. It was. I was fascinated by it. They actually have a very modern bottling system that they will bottle for other people because their bottler will put the labels on straight, and so the other companies, the other cider companies will have them bottle their product. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. I really enjoyed that. We had lunch there, and they had the best balsamic vinegar that I think I've ever had. And I bought some for us to bring home. It was so good. I really enjoyed that excursion.
It was nice. That is one thing that we experienced with the Ireland trip was they just constantly wanted to feed us.
Yeah, like we sat down, and it was a cold, wet morning, mid-morning, and we thought, and they set down this potato leek soup, which was divine.
Oh, it was so good.
And we thought that was our lunch. That was not our lunch.
That was the appetizer for our lunch.
They fed us a 4-course meal.
Most places
Yes.
we went fed us 4-course meals.
Yes, they did. Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
The trip that I had taken, it was a small group, but yeah, we always were feeling quite well fed.
Sometimes stuck. In fact, towards the end, we quit eating our food. We quit ordering.
We quit ordering all of the courses.
Yeah.
Like we would be like, okay, well, we don't really want anything from the starters section, or we don't want anything from the main entree section. We just want a starter and a dessert.
Yes.
Like we got to, and several of us got to that point.
Yeah.
But all of the food was absolutely amazing.
It was.
And we had some of the best sticky toffee pudding for dessert there with most of the
I
meals.
will tell you this. I had sticky toffee pudding in Scotland also. Just as good. It was, but none of the places that we had sticky toffee pudding, it was not the same in any place. They had their own style.
Yeah, their own twist on
We
it.
loved it. We absolutely loved it. I really, really loved both trips. I would do them all over again. In fact, I'm hoping to with y'all.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I am. I would really, really, really love to host a trip, and I think it would be a lot of fun. It would be a lot of fun. We got a lot of things while we were there.
I don't have all of my things.
I don't have all of my things either.
In fact, when I finished 3 sweaters this year to take with me to Ireland. And when I got home, in addition to the sweaters that I had made, I have a steamer trunk in my house that I store all of my knit items in. And it was getting so full of all of my heavy sweaters that and Lucas's heavy sweaters that I've made him and bought him, that I said to Lucas, we need to take all of this heavy winter sweaters, all of these heavy winter sweaters, and we need to put them away for the season because I'm running out of room in my trunk. And so, unfortunately, before we decided that we were going to be able to podcast, I had Lucas put up all of my heavy sweaters. So
but don't worry, because I borrowed some to take to Scotland.
You borrowed one of the 3 that I finished.
And so she has it here.
I do have it
It's
here.
actually her most recent. You finished that one just before we went to Ireland. I bought you that yarn for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's stunning.
But I'll show that when we go through FOs.
I don't have any knits with me today. I just finished my what I had on my needles, and so I don't have anything on the needles at the moment. Do you? Or do you?
I have 3 whips with me.
I have 2. You want to go first?
Sure. So this first one that I'm working on, this is the Vignette Shawl. I think it's called Vignette Shawl. It's just called Vignette, by Helen Stewart. This was her, what does she call it? Her knit vent. She does a knit vent, like a pattern advent, every year around the holiday time. And one of them is always a pattern that can be used with an advent. And so this was 2024's pattern. And I completely forgot that I had bought, when this came in, a Chick That Knits advent last year for myself for Christmas. And so that's what I'm using with this shawl, is a Chick That Knits advent.
Which a Chick That Knits is going to be here for the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. And Jessica and I got an opportunity to swing through when my dad passed away last year. We went for his memorial service.
No, we stopped there when Aunt Jamie died.
Oh yeah,
at Christmas.
Yes, no,
just before Christmas.
So
because you got the advent while we were there.
It was just before Christmas, and I was envious that Jessica got an advent that I didn't get, and so Tammy allowed me to buy one of her extras, and so I got one
in sparkle.
So
mine is in a different base. I think it was the silk base.
Yeah.
The merino, I think this was the merino silk base. I can't remember exactly, but
it's lovely.
It's a very nice base.
Nice.
It is nice.
And with I believe, because I haven't completely opened it, but I believe the rest of the shawl the rest of the colors are going to fade together nicely. And that this was just the first one, and it was supposed to be able to be used as like an in-between of all of the colors. So I don't know exactly what this is going to end up looking like, but I had started this at Advent time last year when I got it in, and then I very quickly felt overwhelmed with 3 Advents.
As you should.
And put it down and only just recently picked it back up. So I am going to start trying to work on some of my past whips.
Yes.
This being one of them. The other 2 projects that I am working
you should
on.
show your bag too, because that's very cool.
So before we went to Ireland, we brought in Delacue, and I got this Delacue mini messenger, and I've been using this as my purse since we went to Ireland.
And I'm so jealous because she literally knitted out of it.
Well, and the reason
was
she
wearing
told me
it.
to show y'all is because I'm keeping this pair of socks in that bag for right now.
Okay, and pause 1 second. So the picture that they sent from their trip on in Ireland,
Yes.
they
Probably
Jessa
one of the
was-
first photos
It's
we sent
actually
you.
the same yarn as that purple.
It is pretty close. I don't have the exact sweater
But
with
I
me.
think we have the
it
picture, so we'll
was-
ask Lindsey
yeah.
to put it in.
There-
But she was wearing this color and wearing this bag.
And they're like, "Look, Jessa's got her new bag." I'm like, "Where?"
But I realized on the trip that I have recently become obsessed with that particular shade of purple.
Good purple.
It is
Yes.
it is a really fun purple.
I love that purple too.
But this is the fur rib
I love
sock
how that's working up.
from
pretty.
Stephen West. I think it was in 2024's year of socks. But this is a colorway from Tristan from Dragon Horde Yarn that I got from one of her little mystery sock sets that she does, I think. And then this colorway is Spruce from Hugh Loco.
But goes so well
It
together.
does go well.
It goes very well together, but I had originally started to use this colorway on a different pair of gift socks for somebody. And I really didn't like you couldn't see the texture pattern of the sock with this colorway. So I decided to switch it to this pair of what's going to be a gift sock.
It shows up so nicely in this pattern.
I think it's super
Much
fun.
better.
That pattern would be fun in a hat.
It would.
He might have it in a hat. I think he also has it in a sweater.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this, and it's actually, for it being it's a 4-row repeat. I'm actually able to work the 4-row repeat without looking at the pattern each time.
nice.
After the first couple of repeats, I was like, okay, I understand what I'm supposed to
So
be
it
doing.
becomes intuitive.
It does.
I like that kind of pattern.
And it is, some of his sock stitch counts are a little odd just to make patterns work. So this is a 70 stitch sock, which is 10 more stitches than I'm used to
Yeah.
working
It
with.
sounds so big.
But it's also for a male relative. So I will, when I get to the foot, I will take it down to 68 stitches, which is what he likes.
I'm really surprised with the pattern how much stretch there is because it seems as though it's quite stiff.
Well, and there's a 3x2 rib in there.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It's working up quite nicely, and I'm actually really enjoying this pattern.
It's a really good thing that Lucas's family is so knit worthy because that's gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that
You should be.
sock. And then the other whip that I'm currently working on
In a little Bucky's bag.
in my little Bucky's Christmas bag
That's by
is
Knit for Brains. She made those special for me.
the rhubarb and
Jessica.
custard sock.
It's very argyle.
Now, is that
looking.
the one you started with that yarn? Or
No, this is a different. So yeah, this is the rhubarb and custard socks. I wanted to. Okay, whatever. I wanted to make sure I got the name correct. But this is kind of like a broken argyle colorwork pattern.
I love that.
It looks very Scottish.
And I'm using
Beautiful.
2 different Dragon Horde colorways. This one, again, was a sock set that I had gotten from her, and I'm really loving
It's beautiful.
these colors. And then I wanted to do a light background, but I didn't want it to be white because I thought it was going to be too stark against this dark colorway. So this is her heirloom colorway. And it's just a very light off-white cream. And then it's easier to see in the sock, in the toe, but it's got these little dark kind of brown tan speckles through it that kind of helps
Oh yeah.
tone it down a little
That's
bit more.
so pretty.
And I'm really loving the combination
As you
of
should.
the
That's
colors.
stunning.
They're stunning socks, and I really want to make another pair for myself, but this is a Christmas gift. I'm getting started on them early this year because I have to make 4 pairs.
Who is that for?
Lucas's mother.
Now you also have a dress on the needles, right?
I do.
You have a dress on the needles? What?
I left that at home because it was supposed to be a surprise for the first day of crawl.
She doesn't.
I have a dress that I want to do. It's DK weight though, and I'm just like nervous about it. But what? Tell me which one it is.
So
Oops.
well, nobody's gonna see it before crawl. So
I will say though, she did announce it to the store.
Oh,
I
there's
did.
a little skater dress from Little
So the Little
Knits.
Wolf Knits has
Are you doing that
a
one?
new skater
You're
style
doing that one?
dress. And it's called the 6th Avenue.
It is the 6th Avenue.
6th Avenue dress.
Yeah, I was just talking with Christy about that on Sunday.
And it's working up very quickly.
I could have Lindsey edit this whole part out.
What weight yarn are you using?
It's fingering weight.
Ooh, and it's working up quickly. What size needles do you use?
6s?
It's working up quickly because Jessa's quick.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
just
it's
as fast.
the tank, because it's a tank style skater dress, but the tank top portion works up very quickly.
Oh, is it top down?
Yes.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the top of the dress works up very quickly, and then what slows you down is the increases in the skirt, and that's where I'm at currently.
I'm
is
sorry.
in the
Oh,
skirt.
Jessica. So before I went to Scotland, Jessica's like, you need something where you don't have to think about. You should make this seaside skirt
That
set.
would have been perfect for you to if you
I
had
know,
started
but
it.
I
before you
got
left.
to the point where it was like so freaking boring because I have to do the front and I have to do the back separately and then join in the round because it's a little, side slits. And I had in my head that I wanted this to be striped and I don't know why. And so I didn't.
I tried to talk you out of it.
So I made another
Secret Summer.
Secret Summer top instead while I was there, and a hat while I was there, instead of working on that skirt. Now I need to finish that skirt. Thank you, Anna. That's all the motivation I needed, because I actually picked up yarn today so that I picked up my birthday yarn that Miss Macy made for me last year. And I picked this up to make another one of these because I needed something on the needles, which I do have on the needles, that skirt. Now I need to be motivated before the crawl.
Listen, you're never
I'm
gonna
to get
beat
working
Jessa.
on it.
I'm a very challenge motivated knitter, so if I feel like there's a contest,
You're
I'm
gonna
in.
lose.
You have
Rude.
I
don't have enough time.
As of right now, you have 22 days.
Y'all,
Jessa made a
22
countdown.
days. She has a countdown.
There's a countdown on
You
our
do
app.
that every year, don't
That's
you?
rude.
I do.
Yes. I love that you do that. Thank you for doing that. So is that all that you have on your needles?
That's all that I have on my
secret?
needles with me.
She's like, thanks, Anna.
But I do have lots of things on the needles. One thing I did this year is I downloaded a knitting journal onto my iPad on GoodNotes.
I need to do that.
And I put on here every whip that I have on my needles after going through my whips. And as I'm finishing them, I'm checking them off. So this is as of the beginning of this year. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Y'all,
Finished
she's
objects
amazing.
this year.
She's so amazing.
So do you have on there how many whips you have going?
Yeah, out of that
Yes,
many, how
I
many are
have.
there?
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Well, you're just half done.
So Lindsey has 25.
So I forgot that I also have this on the needles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a flax sweater that I'm making for Lucas.
Is that on worsted or DK?
Worsted. So this is worsted. It's made out of Malabrigo in the colorway Siri. It's a gray with an orange and brown speckle. But I am teaching a sweater workshop in the store this summer. And so this is being knit along with the class.
With the students.
With the
Yeah.
students. So I'm ready for the next class. So this is technically a whip that I have going.
Did you download that app, her app?
I did. So I'm using, now I did show the class setting up a paper pattern, setting up a digital pattern, and then I showed them the Tin Can Knits app for the Tin Can Knits pattern.
Such good life
Hear
skills.
that it's great.
It is great.
It's really quite nice. It will separate out only the information for the size you're making.
That is the best part of that app.
And I do think that that's really nice. It makes it a whole lot easier to kind of go through. And then the other thing is it goes down line by line what you're doing. And so you hit the down arrow after you finish a row and it will go down. And then when you have a repeat section and you hit the down arrow, it'll go down to row 5 and then it'll go down to row 6 and it'll say, okay, repeat rows 5 and 6 13 times or 26
nice.
rows total.
So
and
it
you
goes
hit the
back
down
up?
arrow again and it goes back up to 5.
Oh, I love
And it
that.
tells you 2 out of 13. And so
That's
that is
very nice.
That is very nice and convenient.
Yes, it is.
And I do
very good things about her
Same.
app.
I do think that the majority of the students in my class are using the Tin Can Knits app for that reason.
Yeah.
Just because it's a little, it's for their patterns, it's very user friendly.
Yeah.
Also, but Lindsey is doing a video tutorial.
Yes, so we're with this particular workshop, we are working on doing video lessons that go with the class because it's a 6-part class. It's either 5 or 6 parts, and it's throughout the summer. So we know that not everybody is going to be present for every class. So we wanted people to feel like it was okay to miss if they needed to. So we're doing companion videos for the class
I love
for
it.
each of the sessions. And then we're going to, because of this, we're going to figure out how to offer online video courses. They will be pre-recorded video courses. We don't have the equipment right now to do live video classes, but that is definitely something that we can work towards.
That is a goal that I want to see us do is start having, because we oftentimes have people ask us, do you have this offered as a Zoom class as well? And I'd like to be able to offer, I'd like to have remote access to it as well.
So that because we're doing this, we're finally taking the step towards offering online classes. And I think we have an idea of which program we're going to use.
I think we do.
And this sweater class will be the first one we put up.
Yes.
Because we'll have it
We're
recorded.
excited. We're very excited about it. Is that all that you have?
That is all that I have for whips.
Okay. Well, Miss Anna, tell us what you've got.
Now that I've ruined other people's surprises, let me show you what
Okay.
I
People
You know
will still be
what?
surprised.
Are you going to wear it on opening day?
I'm going to wear it
I
that
will do
Friday of the
this.
crawl.
When I see it, I promise I will be like, Jessica, I promise I will
Okay.
make sure that it looks like it's a surprise to me. But now I want to knit that. Now I want to knit that dress. I think I need all the rest of those DKs.
Yeah,
You
you might.
I do, because I'm going to show you the
You
dress
might
I'm
as
gonna
well.
knit.
So, okay, I cast on a hat 2 nights ago.
What yarn is that?
Area 51.
I love it.
That would have.
think
that
you
would
gifted it
likely,
to her.
yeah.
I did. But is that the DK?
No,
it's
that's
fingering.
sock.
Oh.
It's like 460 yards.
What hat is that?
I
love the brim.
I was going to cast on for a tin can knits, and now I'm just doing a ribbed hat.
I
You're
love
just gonna
it.
make it completely ribbed?
Yeah.
It looks
Nice.
great. Oh,
Um,
I love that, Anna.
But
the
it's striping up so
it
fun.
looks really good.
So it's a self-striping, obviously, but I wasn't sure how the stripes would go, like if they were going to be too
showed
short.
Lindsey.
She sent it to the group?
Oh.
I sent it to the group.
Oh.
I don't think you sent that to any group.
I did, and it has pockets.
Do you have a group that excludes me?
No. What are you talking about?
So that is project 1. So I feel like I probably have 20 projects or something, but if I haven't seen them in a few months, they don't exist to me.
It looks great.
And then I'm doing the Globe Braid Bra, I think it is, by Terry Owen. And I had gotten fairly far, but realized I needed taller portion. So I had to rip back and kind of reconfigure.
Taller portion of the ribbing.
Of the cups.
Of the
Oh,
cups.
okay.
So it would have been rather indecent.
That would be quite low.
Yeah. So I'm just working through.
Yeah.
Where are you sending that? Did
It
you
was in
have to send
Instagram.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't check Instagram. I mean,
Yes, you do.
sort of.
If I send it to you, you do.
If people tell me, hey,
Occasionally.
will you
I can't
please
wait to
look?
see that. Does that pattern have a picture on it?
No.
I'm anxious to see
I
what
mean,
that
I
looks
don't-
like.
I never print the.
Yeah.
The picture page.
I'm
the
anxious to
picture.
see what that looks like. Is it going to be all monotone, or are you going to do accent?
Oh, no. So it's all one color, but this is Lorri's, a color she did, and I feel like it's completely.
Is that Dark Mystic?
It is. I think it's Dark Magic.
Dark Magic?
Dark Magic, which
Yeah,
is.
I wanted to name it Mystic, but they wouldn't let me. That
Which-
looks so pretty.
Well, sometimes when I'm putting something in the system, I forget what she said.
Well, Mystic, we had a colorway called Mystic, and it was nowhere near that.
I
so-
can't remember what the last thing
That's
I
very pretty.
put in the system, and you picked it up and you were like, I thought we were going with this. I was like, oops.
She said it like this. Oops.
So
Which meant I didn't want to do that.
sometimes that's what it means.
It
But
all the time is what it means.
this last time I was like, I could have sworn.
No, she's like,
What was
sometimes
that?
I'll say to her, she'll give me a name because we're like brainstorming about colors. And she'll like, what about this? And I'm like, no. And she's like, why? And I'm like, come up with a better name. And So we sometimes have a debate on what things are going to be named.
Which at some point we plan on doing a little sketch on Instagram.
I feel like it's going to be what I say, and she's like, nope. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that's what you said. And now it's in the computer and it's on the labels, and she knows I don't want to reprint the labels. So she wins, but she wins unfairly. Anna,
sometimes
you do.
The girls got to play dirty.
You do play dirty.
But then there's times too where Lorri is like, I want this name. No, I don't want that name at all. And so there's like 50 suggestions that get thrown out. And 2 hours later, it's like, which we should do that in the Instagram.
We should do that.
2 hours later. You know what?
We're still doing it. Yes.
Yes. We have fun. The names, though, are one of the hardest parts.
The names, finding a name, the perfect name for a yarn is literally like trying to decide what you're cooking for dinner every single night for your entire life.
Because we're looking for absolute perfection.
We look for perfection in literally everything we do. Mm-hmm. It's required here.
Okay, so finished objects. Oh. Did you have something?
I have so many finished objects, y'all will not even believe it.
Okay, you go.
And I don't
go, girl.
I don't knit that much. Like, I don't just sit around and knit. Like Jessica is like, if she's sitting, she's knitting. A lot of times I'm not doing that. So I have a lot of things. This is one of them. This is the Tolsta tank. I love this so much. I finished this on the airplane before I arrived in Scotland, and I did this in 3 days.
That is the square neck version.
This is the square neck version, and I did the minimal amount of. I didn't even do what the pattern said.
Different from mine.
I wanted very thin straps, and so I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it so much that I started it. I have a whole pile of things. This was my first one. I did this one in the, I used the size D cup, which is a knit so many, make one left, knit so many, make one right. It might be the opposite.
There's shaping.
There's a tad bit of shaping in a little bit of area. You just decide what cup. They're knit bottom up. So
Which wasn't bad.
I knitted this in 3 days. And y'all know that I am not a fast knitter. I love this so much. And y'all, it looks so precious on with literally everything that I wear. It's so cute. Lindsey did it where she did, and by the way, this is the shop knit along for the Arkansas Yarn Crawl.
In the t-shirt.
The people voted, all of our customers voted, our guests voted on what they would like to see us knit as the group photo that we do every year, and the Tolsta won. So there's a Tolsta tee and a Tolsta tank.
And you can do either.
And then on each Saturday of the Yarn Crawl at noon, we do a group photo. I chose to do this. This is knit in Hot Boy Summer by Twisted Ambitions, and Ross, it was Ross approved. He loved it. And then,
so I will say, for anybody wanting to join, both of these are DK tank tops. The pattern is written for both DK and fingering weight,
Yes.
which she calls 4-ply.
right.
But we will all tell you, the DK knits up so much faster.
I knitted both of these in 3 days. And let me tell you this, I was never an advocate for knitting a DK weight tank top because we live in 7 hells during the summer. It's 7 today.
Yeah.
It's so hot.
It's
I have felt so comfortable, and by the way, I love how this feels on my skin. I had somebody ask me why I love knitting specific patterns, and the reason is it feels so good on. And by the way, while I was in Scotland, it was so warm in our hotel room because there's not air conditioning. I actually slept in this 3 nights with a pair of shorts because it was so hot, and the jammies that I brought were long sleeve. So much fun. So I have 2 Tolsta square neck tanks that I finished. I've been knitting. I love the braided bralettes. I love, love, love them. Guess what? They're DK. This is one of my colorways, and I love it. This is...
That was Half Dozen Roses.
no, this one is not. This is peonies. This is peonies. And then last night,
Maybe that was Birthday Bouquet?
that is birthday bouquet.
Yes.
Okay.
Last night, y'all know that I love myself a secret summer crop. Summer secret crop.
Secret Summer Crop.
Secret summer
One of
crop.
those.
I made this. This took me also 3 days. It's, by the way, 1 skein of yarn. Now, I will tell you that
This
I'm...
one's fingering.
This is fingering. I made this in the size medium. Love it. I love it so much. They're so fun to wear.
And that color is, on Wednesdays we wear pink.
That is exactly right. I have a whole bag of things to show y'all. This is the braided bralette in my birthday
That's the Half
colorway.
Dozen Roses.
That is called Half Dozen Roses because we were 6. I love this. I love this so much. And for the second time, I knitted this in a 2 on the bottom and a 2 on the top. And it fits like a glove, and it's stunning. Love, love, love it. Love it. Love. This one's probably my most favorite now. I also knitted it in this colorway. I do not know what yarn this was. It was gifted to me. And also I should tell you that these take 1.5 skeins if you're knitting them in the large or the medium. That's what these are. Love it.
The size 2 or 3.
This one was knit in a 2 on the bottom and a 3 on the top. The 2 and 2 are the magic sizing for me now. This also, this is my Peach Fizz colorway. This is also still the braided bralette. What I love is look at this little cable on the side, and it comes right along the edge, and it looks so fancy. And people think that I put a lot of work into this, and I literally don't. I can do this whole ribbing on a Sunday night. I love it. These are my favorite things to knit. I got a new base yarn. We call it Sweet Tweed. If y'all were following my social media, you saw me wear this all the time when I was in Scotland because it's one of the only ones that I brought with me, and I had a little pair of khaki pants, and then I bought a blue sweater and a green sweater, and it looks so good with this. This Sweet Tweed is delightful to work with. I'm actually probably going to knit a Tolsta out of it as well, just so that I can have another little something out of it because I love it so much.
She's going to keep all the yarn for herself, and there's not going to be any for y'all.
I'm sorry, y'all. Actually, let me tell you this. I bought all there was from the mill
Because they were reformulating
they
it.
were reformulating it, and this fits my store aesthetic so much. There's this very rosy colored nubs, and it's a tweed, but the tweed is wrapped, so it's not a nub where it sticks out and you want to pick them out. It is a wrap.
It's spun in.
And I love it. And when you get to that section, it looks like a little barber pole. It makes my heart happy. I love it. This was the first braided bralette I ever knit, and I love this one so much. This one is knit in spun right round. I bought it at Rich Mountain Fiber Company. My friend Missy owns that store, and this is probably my most favorite, but these two are my new winners. I love them so much.
Also, you shrunk out of this one.
I am too small for that one. I'm coming to the end, I promise. So, y'all know that in January I went to the Knitting McPurley retreat in Grapevine, Texas, and it was so great to be home again because I'm a Texan, and I wore my pink Sweet Nothings Flutter Buttshirt, and Devin, she thinks I never watch her podcast, but I do watch it when Lindsey tells me that I'm on it. So, and I fast forward to that section, and Devin fell in love with my Flutter Buttshirt and the jeans that I wore as the outfit for the day. And so we decided to do a Flutter Butt knit along together. And so I came back to the store and I dyed this color that I was going to wear to Ireland. I dyed
it finished in time.
2 skeins of yarn just for me. I didn't dye any more of it than the 2 skeins of yarn. Well, my mom was passing away,
understand.
what my plans were to have it done before we went, and I didn't get it finished, but I finished it on the trip. So this is my Flutter Buttshirt, and it is like Kiss Me, I'm Irish is what the name was supposed to be, and Anna called it Lucky Charms. So
see, that's the one that I accidentally.
Yeah.
That truly was.
So if you're looking for this green, it's listed as Lucky Charm.
It's great though, right?
It's literally the best green I've ever done, and I have some special color. I have a special dye for several people for this colorway, and it's awesome, and I love it. While I was in Scotland, I got a little bit chilly, a little bit chilly when I first got there, and then it got warmer. And then I decided I can't get this done in time, so I bought a beret. But which y'all may have seen, that matched my little raincoat that I bought in Italy.
Somewhere.
Somewhere not in America.
Somewhere not in America, and I sound so bad because I've been traveling so much. But I love it. And I have the best team to take care of the store for me so that I can do these things.
We don't feel deserted.
I knit this hat out of new Shetland wool from Scotland. And it came from the cutest little yarn store, and it's the only yarn store that I went to. And I'm gonna put this cute little topper on it, and it is a pom-pom that is 100% alpaca, so it feels like a bunny. And so I was on the train in Scotland, and this cute conductor was coming by to see if we had our tickets, and he saw that I was knitting, and he asked me what I was making, and I told him I was making this hat, and he says, "Oh, are you gonna put a tootie on it?" And I said, a tootie? And he says, a pom, the fluffy thing on the top, a tootie. And my friend Tina said, "We call a 2-year-old a tootie." So anyway, a pom. Huh. And so I'm going to put this pink pom that I bought. And so I'm going to order some of these because I want y'all to have the decadence of this pom.
We got this in Ireland.
I got this in Ireland.
When she brought this home, she almost didn't get it back.
She was doing this feels like air.
It's so
Am I wrong? It feels like air, doesn't it? Yeah. It's so gorgeous. I automatically knew that I was putting it on, that tootie, on this hat. So anyway, that. Oh, and then while we had our birthday party, my sweet friend Sydney Fowler of Sydney Fowler Creations had these gorgeous bags.
She's so talented.
She's so talented, and I'm so lucky to call her friend because sometimes she gifts me things. Not this. I bought this, but she has gifted me a purse, and I had her make me this bag. Y'all, this is made out of wood. First off, this is a living hinge. I'm going to let Anna move it closer so you can see it. But this is the bag, and it has a magnetic closure. But what sold me was this antique gold hardware. It's so unbelievably stunning. So you have to be very careful with that hardware, and she puts in the hinge. She puts in a little note of how to care for that because it can be broken. And then she gave it to me in this beautiful little tote bag. That's how it was delivered. And I have a couple of soirees coming up in Texas that I'm going to, and I'm going to be taking this with me.
Which she used also for a function she went to.
I did.
The one that Sydney
Gave me for my
to her.
birthday. Yes.
And it went so perfect.
It did. It was stunning. SydneyFowlerCreations.com is her website, and she is amazing. And by the way, she's going to be here for the Arkansas Yarn Crawl. And so we're super, super
We
excited.
love having her for that.
Yes.
So this is one that she gave to me. So it's the
Stunning.
same concept of the hinge, but
Yes.
it's a different style.
And yours is cool because you have acrylic on the sides and wood on the front. These are wood. And then Jessica also got a neon clear one. And
Which is
I
clear acrylic.
The whole
love
thing.
your strap. This is so beyond beautiful. I also have this shape. She gave it to me in peonies. I actually have the first one that she made. And I love, love, love it. And it's right over there.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. She's amazing. While I was in Scotland, my girlfriends and I took this class from the Islander, and we got to put together these absolutely gorgeous bags. So the class consists of you pick out your topper. They look like,
Your tartan. You pick out your tartan.
you pick out your tartan, but they call them toppers. You pick out your topper. I also bought a second one so that I can swap out. Now I will tell you that I'm carrying these, but mine are not swappable because they're not from the class. So I picked out a pink bag, and it's so beautiful because it has pink calico fabric on the inside.
They all have pink calico fabric
Yes.
on the inside.
And then you pick out what color you want your straps to be and what color you want your handle to be. And let me tell y'all this, on the back zipper, this is absolutely amazing to me. There's calico fabric on the inside. It's virtually unheard of to put fabric liner on the inside of a bag zipper pocket. So much room, so much room. Well, this still has the paper in it because I haven't even used it yet.
She can't use anything until she shows it on the podcast.
That's exactly right. I am in love with this because this is Harris tweed wool. And the Harris Islands, it's actually from the Hebrides Islands. They're a series of chain islands in Scotland, and they don't have a factory where they make this. Each of these tartans is made by families, and each family has their own style of tartan that they make. And I chose this pink and blue, and then they don't waste any of it because each of these tartans are so precious that they literally have pieced together this little rosette and they pieced together scrap fabrics and made a rosette. And then I got it to match because it matches the dark section of the plaid. And also, it's going to look super cute when I put this pink over this houndstooth with this dark. Look how cute that is. That's going to be adorable. So I fell in love with this brand, the Islander bags. And I think that maybe and all of them come with their own little dust bag. And mine, because I put it together, I got a separate set of all of the hardware and a screwdriver so that I can change this out to the other. I love this brand so much, and I promised everybody that I was bringing home Scottish wool, and so I did. And I brought home bags. This is only one of the styles that we have, but this is the most adorable bag it holds a skein of yarn. It comes with its own dust bag, and it comes with a crossbody strap, which connects here and here. And it also has a little pocket here that you can put your credit cards in, and then it has a zippered pocket. And guess what? It's pink calico. All of them are that way. I love this so much. It has this cute little magnetic strap that closes it. And inside of here, it has a little, let me get it, I'm sorry. It has this little tab that you can attach a pair of scissors to, your keys to. This is like the cutest thing to knit from. So you literally can knit from it, right from it. It's adorable. Or you can wear it crossbody and knit directly from it. I love it, love it, love it. And by the way, y'all, there's more than just this pink colorway. There are I got them in all other colors. And please don't give me crap because this is brown. I know this is brown, but I love this part more. I love this part more than this. So I ignore this part and only see this part. But the cool part is you can snap these together. Oops, sorry. I'm at an awkward angle. Let me snap them together.
I'm going to be buying the one in teal.
The teal is
so
absolutely
pretty.
gorgeous. But look how cute that is. And then you wear it as a crossbody and you literally knit from it. Or you carry it and knit from it, whichever hand you knit with. I'm a fan of these things, and it's called the Cali, and they're on our website. I just got them, and let me tell you, we sold over half of them yesterday. Half of the bags we brought in from Scotland, I sold them yesterday. I love the little buckets.
Spent an hour this morning filling order.
And not only that, but I also have the cutest little the Kiss purse bags, a little bag, little coin purse. It's called the coin purse on our website, and it's a kiss lock, and they match. And I absolutely adore them. And here's the thing. You only get Harris Tweed, real, authentic Harris Tweed has this little logo on it. There are other tweed companies in Scotland, but this is the official Harris Tweed logo. It's the official tweed of Scotland, and these people make things for Princess Kate.
They have a lot of fun things.
And by the way, are you surprised that I brought you things from Princess Kate? I love it so much. I love it so much.
I love their thorough usage.
Oh, they waste nothing. Thank you for saying that. They literally waste nothing. So they stuff it inside their teddy bears, which we have coming, or they make little dog collars. They make little dog kerchiefs. They sew all these pieces together and make rosettes. They make keychains. They make hair bows. I can't even imagine all of the things that they make that I haven't even seen yet.
Waste not, want not.
Exactly. Every single bit of it is handmade. So they don't have a factory. They have families, and each family makes their own tweed style, and it's plaid, their own plaid, and I love, love, love that they do that because they're bringing revenue back to their country, which is so needed. And I'm just honored that I got to experience it and bring it back for y'all. It makes me happy, happy.
It's fun.
Did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. Do we want to move on to acquisitions for, well, that was partly acquisition.
That is acquisition.
Or FOs.
But I also have some other acquisitions.
We did FO. Oh, no, you did FO.
I did FO. I just jumped right over into it. But then I've been talking about all my acquisitions, so can I finish? Let me tell you all this. So remember when I went to Ireland? I got Irish wool.
I don't know if you can remember when she went to Ireland.
Right?
I'm bringing this to the store, y'all. I'm bringing this to the store. This is called raspberry, and I love it. I can't wait to knit something with
Fun
it.
color.
And y'all, we went to this really cool place called Moyen, the Mountains of Moyen, and we loved it so much, and we learned all about alpacas.
We went to Mourn Alpacas.
Right, which is on the Moyen Mountain.
Yeah, but the place was called Mourn Alpacas.
Moyen alpacas. I bought this color. It's so pretty.
It's got such cute little
Y'all
guys on the cover.
are gonna be crazy when you see this, but look at this. I don't even know what I'm gonna make with this, but I just bought a pair of shorts that match this. So anyway, that's what I got. I think I'm done.
Are you done?
So done. Look at this yarn. Look at this yarn. Look at this yarn.
That's a pretty color.
I want y'all to know that I know y'all think that I don't knit with toothy things, but this is, it's not really toothy.
very toothy.
It's super soft and it's tweed and I love it.
also
It is
has-
still rustic.
We took a class
But it has some cashmere.
with Adele McBride, and this one is. We took a class with Adele McBride, and she taught us how to do Irish Aran knitting, and I plan on bringing that as a class to y'all. I love it.
Oh, you got this one from
That
the
one I
yarn
got from the
shop.
yarn store, and that one I got from
They
Adele.
look okay. No, they don't.
This is
look
a
like
sport weight, and this is an Aran weight.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But they're not as soft as our Yummy Plush.
no, they're not.
They're not going to be. They are
Nope.
going to have that rustic yarn feel to them. But they are softer than what you would expect the rustic yarn to feel like.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be carrying it, and y'all know that. So I am in love with it. I love everything about it.
Like a genteel workhorse yarn.
Yes, it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. Okay, who's
That's
next?
not what you got.
I have FOs.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see them.
Have at it.
Sorry to hijack that.
So, speaking of Ireland, I guess I'll start with this one.
Yes.
I don't remember what the brand of this yarn is. I think it was Moonlit Yarns.
No, I don't believe it was that. I bought it at the
You bought it at DFW.
DFW Fiber Fest.
But this is. No, I don't even remember what the pattern is called anymore. But I'll
So
have
we'll
Lindsey
put it
up
in.
on the screen.
Yes.
But it's a dark green.
Look at the Celtic.
If you push it forward like you were doing, you can see the cabling.
Yes.
But it's a V-neck. It's a V-neck. It was cabled. It was bottom up, and then it's got set-in sleeves that
that
also
V-neck.
have a cable that runs down the outside of the sleeve. And I love the shape of the neckline. It's kind of like almost like a squared off V-neck.
Yes. It's quite flattering.
It's really nice, and I really enjoyed working that pattern. Now, I will say with that pattern, when Lindsey puts the name up on the screen, if you go and you look it up, it says that it's knit on a size 2 needle.
Ew.
However, the designer also says in the pattern that she is a very loose knitter. Make sure you do your gauge swatch because it's most likely going to be different, and most of her testers knit it on a 4.
What'd
What
you
do-
do?
I think I ended up using a 5.
I think so too.
That's much better.
Yeah, it went so much faster than I was expecting it to.
When she
will
first said a
veto.
2, a 2 on fingering weight for a sweater is too
I
small.
veto twos.
Yes.
And then I have both of my Tolstas done. This is my Tolsta T.
It's very lovely.
This is made out of a wool that we got in Ireland from the yarn shop.
It's toothier than what this is.
And this is a very rustic wool. I'm going to have to wear something under it, but I did wash it after it was finished, and
soften
it did help soften it up.
And you kind of put your own spin on this, so the
Yes,
pattern
so
doesn't call.
the
for
pattern
this.
doesn't call for any embellishment, but she does say in there to feel free to be creative and do striping, add in eyelet rows, basically make it your own. And so I added alternating eyelet rows every inch on the front and the back.
You don't think you're creative.
Well, I originally wanted to do it on the sleeves and just the sleeves, but I couldn't figure out how to do it with the short row shaping. So I ended up not doing it on the sleeves.
Looks good though.
I did it on the
I
body.
love it.
And so that's my Tolsta tee. And then I did in DK weight, this yarn is from Moyen Alpaca from Ireland. I did the, this is the front. I did the camisole version of the Tolsta tank.
I started weaving in the ends, and I see I didn't.
I was going to say there's a few here.
I love that. I didn't know that you were finishing for people. I would have had you finish.
I was gonna finish it for a photo thing or something. I don't know.
I think Anna wanted to wear it.
I think I was going to steal it.
I will say this, y'all. Don't be afraid to knit a summer tank in DK. It is not as hot as you think it is. In fact, I don't feel hot wearing it at all.
And that was beautiful and very complimentary.
Yes, it was.
So both of these are DK weight.
Yes.
And I kind of had in my head that I was going to get DK in Ireland to make
did.
them.
The other thing about the Tolstas is, so you'll notice Jessa did a V,
The camisole, yeah.
but those come in.
The tank has 3 different neckline options.
Yes.
There's a vest, which has a very wide strap on the shoulders. And then there is the square neck,
Love.
which
The
has
square
that
neck.
more square neck with thinner straps. And then the cami that is a V-neck on both the front and the back.
Also, I should say this. Once you knit the front and the back, they're left without the strap. Then you pick up under the arm and you pick up around, you cast on more, and then you pick up around. So you can make this strap as wide as you want because you can just keep on knitting. I knitted 4 rounds because I wanted thinner. So it's very customizable. But what I really would like to stress, don't be afraid to knit a summer top in the South in DK. I promise it's body regulating, temperature regulating. The wool regulates your body temperature, and so you don't feel sweat. I do not feel sweaty, and it is literally hot as 7 hells here, and I do not feel sweaty.
I mean, I feel as sweaty as I do in anything.
I agree. So again, don't be afraid to knit a summer tank in DK. I used to think it was counterproductive. Now it's all I want to knit in because it's fast.
And then the other thing that I have with me, this is my Sporti tank. It's really not looking all that great on camera. It's a really pretty color in person. But this is made out of Twisted Ambitions in his Ocean colorway.
It's very beautiful.
That's a much better representation of the color. But this is the Sporti tank by Jack Cieslak, I believe, J-A-Q, Jack. And so I made this for our birthday party because I wanted to have it finished for when Ross was here. And then in addition to that, I made the Sporti, it's the Sporti Shrug.
I want to snatch that.
Out of this purple that we had just laying around in the store to go with, and it pairs very well.
Oh, y'all,
Together.
this is so darn adorable on. And so when you wear the tank, it has a little opening, and then that sweater sits right above it. So it has this cute little smiley face. It's so cute.
Mine doesn't. So
the
in
picture,
the
the pattern.
picture, there's like a
Yeah.
keyhole when you put them together. But when I wear them the way that I made them, there's not that gap in
It's
between.
so cute.
But it's super cute. The combo is super cute. They're both fingering weight. They both took a little less than 2 skeins of yarn for me, and I mean, I'm quite happy with them. But that's all that I have for
you should be.
FOs.
What do you have as FOs, Miss Anna?
I remembered not a lot, but these were recent. So I also did the Tolsta. First, I did it in fingering weight.
Yes.
That
It took a long
forever.
But it's very beautiful, and it looks so good on you.
I did cast on because the tanks are bottom up. I did cast on a larger size on the bottom, and then decreased it a bit for the top. So I did size whatever for the bottom, size whatever for the top. And then I thought,
She was jealous.
that took forever. But Lindsey had done a 2-tone.
I think it looks adorable as a two-tone.
So I used Twisted Ambitions, and he has such great color.
He does.
So I used
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk for my bottom rib, the top portion, and then the picked up stitches. And I've worn that, I don't know, like half a dozen times.
It's so adorable on you.
and I really like it.
It's comfortable, don't you think?
I do think.
If you have not knitted a summer tank, start with the Tolsta. It's so easy. It's super quick.
It is quick.
And it doesn't require a lot of yarn.
No, it doesn't. I used like 1.5 maybe for mine of the purple, and then a partial for that, for the contrast.
It's adorable. It looks so good on you.
And then like Lindsey made one for somebody, and that looked gorgeous.
She
on
made
that
one for my
person.
sister.
But they all look so beautiful.
Yes. And they're flattering. They're so flattering on every body shape. I love
And
them.
she has them written to where there is bust shaping for women that have larger bust sizes in comparison to their body size. So if you look at it, the pattern, some people are finding the bust shaping intimidating to choose a size.
So not.
You just need to compare your upper bust measurement, which is your measurement from the underarm above your chest, and compare it to your full bust measurement. And she tells you if you are within this distance range with that to make either the B, the D, or the F cup size. And those letters are not necessarily in relation to the cup size that you would wear. So if you wear like an A cup, definitely you wouldn't want to make the D or the
You
F
would do
cup.
no shaping.
But I wear a G cup, which in my head would tell me, okay, I need to make the F cup top, but I didn't. I made the D cup top.
And I think I
Because
made the
that's
D
where I
cup
fell.
top, right? I made the D cup top. It's literally you're knitting from the side and you're making one, either left or right. And
There's
then
no
you
short row
knit in the
shaping in
middle.
this.
You're just knitting to a marker and making one, and then knitting to the marker and making one. The other nice thing is when you're looking at it, you can see the little V's that you've made, and you know which is the front and the back. But it is literally the easiest pattern I've ever knit.
It's quite nice.
It's so lovely.
They're quite well written.
Yes, they are very well written. I'm very happy that so many people wanted to make it because I wasn't really all that thrilled with it, but it has so many variations built into the pattern that it is very well worth every penny that she charges for the pattern, which I don't even think is that much.
And it seemed like it was 8 or something.
Yeah, it's very
But you
comparable.
Per pattern, you get
So many
3
choices.
different patterns.
Yes, it is.
So-
It is. She should charge more for the pattern. It's such a nice pattern.
Well, do we have time for FOs? Or no, we just did that. Acquisitions.
I did my acquisition, so go ahead.
Okay. So in addition to the earrings that they brought back from Ireland for me from that causeway loveliness, I collect rosaries. I have for I don't know how long.
So beautiful.
I'm not Catholic, but I don't think that matters. So Jessa picked out. Well, she
I video called you.
and was like, "Here's your options." And so she brought back that
Irish marble.
one. Yeah, and it feels so nice too.
It's got a
I
nice
see
weight
that.
to it.
It does have a very nice weight, and the cross is so
It's lovely.
beautiful. Is so beautiful. But this green is stunning. This Irish marble.
Yeah, the green marble is beautiful.
It's stunning. I love everything about it.
It has a very nice weight to it.
I know, and
like
they
it.
feel cool, which I love.
Could just kind of cool off with that.
Yeah.
And then Lorri had brought back. Let me get some things out of your fur there. Like a little. So this one's a key ring, and this one's a pin. But they're little blue sheep. So cute. And then from Scotland, she brought back kind of a Shawn the sheep looking guy.
It's
Which
cute.
I've attached to a different acquisition. I bought the blue shorty set.
Yay! They're my favorite set.
Finally.
They're my most favorite set.
I have been talking about doing that forever.
Aren't you glad you did?
And which I'm using them for that hat right now. Also, Lorri had brought back from the Texas Yarn Crawl this snap bag. And then there's this really, there's flocks in there, and there's a really interesting needle gauge in there. Also, I've purchased a few different delicues.
Yes.
So I bought the
Love
messenger.
it. We love these bags.
There's a tall messenger, and then there's this messenger. And so I went with this one. There's this big old zipper that has enough room to just put your entire pattern in, like
Love it.
unfolded, which I love that, because if I have to fold my pattern, it's gonna be there for a
Yes.
while because I don't knit fast and then it gets that crease.
Yes.
So I really love that. And that's what I brought of my acquisitions. 'Cause I was
Yes.
like, wow, there could be a never-ending.
It's we should not wait this long to podcast anymore.
So I will say too. So Lorri and Scott brought back a felting kit.
It was Scott. It was not me. It was Scott. We went into that little yarn store, and Scott said, "I know what we should take back for the girls." And I'm like, so he's picking out something. Okay.
They're
He doesn't
adorable.
normally do that. So I went with what he wanted. And it is a little box full of the supplies that you need to make a felted Highland coup.
And it's so cute. I went to bed last night literally telling myself, don't forget the Highland coot, don't forget the Highland coot. And I woke up because I had repeated it so much last night.
Goodness.
I woke up, don't forget Highland coot.
We'll put a picture in. It's not that big a deal.
And then I forgot the
They're
Highland coot.
very cute. It's just not what I would have chosen. But it's very rare that Scott insists that we get y'all something. So I let him go with it.
They're adorable.
They're cute.
I also wanted to have done mine already so I could be like, look it.
Aw, you're overachiever. Yeah,
She has high expectations.
we all do. We all do. That's why we're successful, because we have high expectations.
Well, that's
Anyway.
so that's my acquisitions, and I already showed the I've been.
I love your bag. That color is so pretty.
That was the other one. It is pretty. Just such a good job.
Such a good job.
I don't think that I really have any acquisitions. I think the only other thing that I have with me that would be an acquisition would be my Delaque backpack. I got this before we went to Ireland because I wanted a bigger knitting bag, and so this was my carry-on on the plane, and it was my knitting. It held my knitting when we were on the bus.
And she also got one of those little.
Yeah, I got a little sheepy pin from Ireland as well.
Also, I would say I would like to give a testimony to this because Jessica, her water cup,
My water bottle, which is 35 ounces.
emptied into here, and this is waxed canvas, and all of the water was in there.
All of the water was kind of pooled in the bottom, and I had my I had to have had my knitting in here. I might have taken it out, which is why the bottle tipped over. But I did have my iPad in the little laptop pouch here. And none of the water seeped through to where my iPad was, which was great.
Attack, though?
I was starting to wonder why my bed was wet and then why my bag was wet.
But the
Because
bottom of it was not wet.
No, it was. That's how I knew.
Okay.
It was slightly wet on the bottom, which is how I knew that there was something odd going
But your
on.
iPad stayed safe.
The iPad was safe, but when I pulled things out, there was water sitting in the bottom, so it was just slowly seeping through.
Yes.
But what I ended up doing is I pulled everything out of it. I dumped the water into the tub in the bathroom, and then I let the bag sit in the tub overnight,
Yeah.
and it dried out very quickly. But this was my other acquisition before we went to Ireland. And
So worth the
that's-
money.
That's really all that I have.
Yes.
I meant to. I kept having this like repeating as well. Laura
Oh, yes.
from Knit for Brains gave us these cutesy little like keychain things. So I had immediately attached mine to my Delaque because first off, it's adorable, and
is.
secondly, I didn't want to lose it.
Yes. Laura also gave me things, and I didn't bring them from the back. So she gave me a Care Bear bag and she gave me a second skein of yarn she gifted me before, and I needed 2 skeins so that I could make something with it. So I got another one, and she gifted that to me. She's so good to us.
And she's so talented.
Yes.
We know so many talented people.
We're blessed by all of the things. Oh, the other thing I forgot to bring, Miss Maggie brought me a little bitty micro Starbucks
espresso.
mug from Starbucks from Hong Kong, because she knows that Jessica and I collect those, and so she sent that to me. That was sweet. We have thank y'all so much for loving us so much.
I worked at a coffee shop. That reminds me. Not Starbucks, but I worked at a mom and pop coffee shop. And we had a customer that would bring in his Starbucks espresso mug. And he was a very nice man, but it was like, you're bringing in Starbucks.
Competitor.
But it was fun. It was a fun looking little mug.
Yes. Jessica and I have been collecting those for a very long time, so of course I had to bring Edinburgh back for her, and we picked up Dublin. Did we?
We did Dublin and Belfast.
And Belfast.
And then I think the one that you brought me just says Scotland.
It does. I didn't get Edinburgh. I just got.
But it has
Scotland.
the Nessie.
It does. It does. We went to the Loch Ness and we cruised the Loch Ness.
didn't
We
see
did
Nessie,
not
though.
see Nessie, but at the end of the day we had Willie Cameron, who's very famous, and he came, and he is the authority on the Loch Ness. His dad actually was one of 10 people who saw the Loch Ness monster. And that thing that you see with the neck, that is fake. That is a hoax. It was a plastic toy submarine with a wooden carving of the head. That was a fake. It was a hoax, so that wasn't really Nessie. But his dad actually saw it with 10 other eyewitnesses, and his dad was a police officer and gave a very professional, detailed description of what he saw. Yes, so he believes in it. And then he also is an authority on Scotland, so anytime there's a movie, Braveheart, he consults on that, and he was wearing plaid. He was wearing a kilt. And so when my husband was taking our picture, he brought the camera very low, and he says, "You can go lower if you want to." So we're like, "We're good, thanks though." but very, very charming guy, and we all had a little dram of scotch, and it was a very interesting conversation about the Loch Ness.
I have thought about getting Jessie a kilt before.
Yeah, you should.
So my husband is a solid, red-haired, very
Viking
dirty man, and he does have some amount of that in his bloodline, but he has helped out judge like the Highland Games, the local.
Yeah, in Hot Springs, there's the Highland Games, and Anna has seen something interesting.
I've seen too much at the Highland Games.
This old guy bent over, and Anna saw
that answered that
jewels.
age-old question.
Yes,
But
and she cannot wait to get back and tell us all about it.
but I turned around and grabbed hold of my husband.
Yes.
But I've thought.
Instead, I bleach.
But yeah, I don't know that they did it this past year, but I have thought for any time that we go to something like that, or
Yes.
he gets asked to help out,
You should.
He should have that.
But we were really shocked about how expensive they were. They're like $650.
Well, they're like 5 or 6 yards of fabric.
Yes.
Because
They
they
are.
fold them.
Yes.
Yeah, depending on what you end up
Depending, because some are already like ready to wear, and they're already made.
Yeah,
And
but
then
if
you
you
get
get
the
that
true
big
one.
old thing.
Yes, it's a lot. Anyway, so y'all, it's almost 15 minutes for it'll be 2 hours
13 more
that
minutes.
we have been chatting with you. So leave us a message and tell us what you've been up to, because we have missed you, and we're super sorry that it's taken so long, but we're going to be back on track now.
Let us know your summer plans.
Yes,
which
so-
will hopefully include the crawl.
Which you're
So
getting
we
on?
haven't really talked about the crawl yet.
Oh,
So
we
a
have
quick,
not.
quick little.
Let's do it very fast. We'll let Jessica do it.
Okay, so the yarn crawl this year is July 18th through the 26th. It's the last full week of July. We will be open every single day during that time, including Sunday, which we're not usually open on Sundays.
Yes.
But what we would like to do again this year is vote on next year's crawl knit-alongs.
So we'll have the boxes out.
So we're
again.
going to have the boxes out again. If you could please help us out, because we don't like being the ones that choose the options every year. We want everyone to
There's
be
so
able
much.
to choose. There's so many options. If you have a pattern that you think would make a really fun knit-along for the yarn crawl next
Size
year,
inclusive.
it has to be size inclusive, put it in the comments below, and we're going to go through them. We're going to see what people would like to knit, and then we'll put it up for vote.
Most people like something with sleeves. I will say that most people prefer having a sleeve.
Yeah, they do like having a sleeve, but we also like having a versatile option,
do.
like the Tolsta, that was either a t-shirt or a tank top.
Yes.
So
So we'd appreciate that.
anything is up
Yes.
for consideration.
Yes.
Help us choose what we're going to vote on this year by commenting what pattern you would like to see available for voting.
Yes. We really would appreciate that. There's just so much to go through, and we're so busy. So having that
Well,
would
and
be a
there's
huge help to us.
so many patterns. There's
many.
so many new, even new patterns that
Yes.
come out.
Yes.
So
Every day.
every
Yes.
day.
So help us out, please. We appreciate it. We love you, and we've missed you, and we will see you again soon. And thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.